the Declaration of Need for Fully Qualified Educators for the 12-13 school year. The California Code of Regulations requires school districts to submit to the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing an annual declaration of need to request limited assignment permits and waivers for multiple and single subject and/or emergency permits.
Excuse me, Ms. Mignoni, I need to. We lost a board member temporarily, so we need to just kind of. We'll take a recess for maybe 2 minutes. Thank you.
Sorry. That's okay. Okay. Ready?
Okay, we're back. Thank you.
Okay, one more time.
One more thing.
Tonight, we're seeking approval of the Declaration of Need for Fully Qualified Educators for the 12-13 school year. The California Code of Regulations requires school districts to submit to the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing an annual declaration of need to request limited assignment permits and waivers for multiple and single subject and/or emergency permits. The declaration of need must include the following information: estimated need, efforts to recruit certificated personnel, efforts to establish alternative training options, and adoption of the declaration by the governing board. The estimated need for the 12-13 school year is 75 permits. Please remember that this number is only an estimate and the district will only submit requests based on an individual school site need. For each requested permit, the teacher either has to have a current credential or they're in a program and ready to complete that credential. So tonight we are asking the board to approve the declaration of need.
Do you have any public comment? No, we don't.
I'll second it.
I have a first from Member Kennedy and a second from Member Bell to move from conference to action. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed and abstentions. The ayes have it. We are now in action, and I have one board member. It would be Member Bell.
I just wanted to move the item.
Oh, you want to move the item?
Second.
Okay, well, Member Bell moves, and seconded by Wu. And all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed and abstentions, and the ayes have it. We have approved the declaration of need for fully qualified educators for
Thank you.
2012-13. Thank you very much, Ms. Mignoni. I have next 10.4 AB 1200, disclosure of cost of the agreement with Teamsters Local 150 pursuant to the Education Code, Section 3547.5. And approval of tentative agreement with Teamsters Local 150. It's a conference action item, 5-minute presentation, 5-minute discussion. Ms. Carol Mignoni.
Thank you. The district and Teamsters negotiated in good faith and signed a tentative agreement on August 28th. The tentative agreement was then ratified by the members of Teamsters Local 150. The agreement includes 3 furlough days for the 12-13 and 13-14 school year. And if the governor's tax initiative fails, effective January 1st, 2013, Teamsters Local 150 agrees to the following for the 12-13 and 13-14 school years: 10 furlough days, suspend longevity pay, and suspend the single coverage rebate. If the governor's tax initiative passes, all of those items will be restored. In addition, health benefit contribution will be changed for active members effective January 1st, 2013. The district shall contribute 95% towards the Kaiser single, two-party, or family benefit level. The employee shall contribute 5% towards their health benefits covered under the CalPERS medical program. And finally, for the 7 school plant operations managers that are covering 2 school sites, they will each receive 7 floating holidays. We're asking that you please approve AB 1200 disclosure of cost of the agreement and the tentative agreement with Teamsters Local 150.
Thank you. There is no public comment on this item. I will entertain a motion to move from conference to action.
So moved.
That was at the same time. Thank you. So Member Kennedy has a first to move from conference to action, followed by Vice President Wu. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed and abstentions. We are now in action. I will take a motion to approve.
I'll move the item.
Thank you. Member Bell is the first, and the second is Member Kennedy. And all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Abstentions. The ayes have it. We have an approval of the Teamsters Local 150 agreement.
Thank you. Thank you.
Item 10.5, Coherent Governance Operational Expectations 4, or otherwise known as OE4, Personnel Administration Monitoring Report. It is a conference action item with a 5-minute presentation and a 5-minute discussion. Superintendent Raymond.
Thank you, President Rodriguez. As I've done, I'll, without going through it and reading this policy, which is on Personnel Administration Monitoring Report, I'll just entertain any questions.
Do we have any public comment on this, Mr. Ross? Thank you. Do you have any board questions? I do have some questions. Of course I do. So Superintendent, and your pages aren't numbered. It is going to be OE 4.3. On your evidence of compliance, you've indicated that there's an attached 4-year trend, and I didn't see the attached document. Four, 4.3.
I'm looking for it too.
Yeah.
It's not in my packet, so I'm looking at staff. Can we get it now?
I'll move on with another question that I have. On 4.9, the evaluation, it is one of your indicators for compliance is annual evaluations for all permanent and probationary employees. I see the evidence of compliance that all of your probationary employees received an annual evaluation. And then we have evaluations for permanent employees are conducted every other year. But you don't have an indicator of, did all of those who were due for permanent, all of your permanent staff, if those that were due for an evaluation, did they get an evaluation?
I'm going to ask, I don't see, is Carol Magnoni still here? So, you know, I would say yes, that those that have to be evaluated are evaluated. Now, we've had some issues this past year with some of our principals, and that's an issue that's currently being worked on. So, again, I would say that, you know, from this standpoint, for this time frame, you know, we feel that we're in compliance.
You know, I mean, at this time, I thought the questions would be able to be answered, but I don't think I would be able to.
Sarah Noguchi, can you provide some insight into that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay. Under the evidence for compliance section, there's a requirement that all permanent staff and probationary staff receive an evaluation. And there's more of like a statement there that says, I lost my page. Give me a second to jump to it. The statement is evaluations for permanent employees are conducted every other year. And that's it. There's not an indicator of 100% of all permanent staff members who were due an evaluation received an evaluation. So, you know, wanted to know what was the outcome. Did all permanent staff members receive an evaluation this year?
You know, I don't have the exact data if all evaluations were done or not. I can say that as far as the schools that the individual assistant soups, I'll take it in two ways. Both the certificated and classified in the individual school sites. Assistants certainly work with the principals relative to who they're evaluating and all those being turned in. I haven't seen a report as to what the percentage was, but I do know that the vast majority was completed. In the area of the principals relative to evaluation, we did not meet the timeline for some of the principal staff, secondary, middle school, high school. We completed those evaluations on time. Elementary, we missed the deadline on the evaluations for some of the employees.
Thank you for that answer, that response. You know, I would like to offer a compromise if we really, as a board, want to approve this or give the superintendent an opportunity to go back and get more formalized in these answers to my questions. We can approve tonight with an in compliance with exceptions and have an exception with that section. Or we could ask the superintendent to bring this back to the next board agenda, and we could put it on the consent agenda.
With the exception of OE3?
OE 4.9. We could give the superintendent an opportunity to go back and 4.9. Yeah, to complete that section with more of a data that would reflect whether he's in compliance or not. Or we can approve it tonight and do in compliance with exceptions. Superintendent?
I think what I'd like to do is just bring it back, when it's ready, and we'll just bring it back at the next board meeting. We do have the demographic trend data. I don't know why it wasn't in the packet, so we'll make sure that it gets out, and so the whole public can look at it, and the public should get a chance to see the whole thing complete, not in little pieces. So we'll get it cleaned up, and we'll bring it back for the meeting in October.
Sounds good.
First one.
Good, a
Thank
good
you.
compromise.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for doing that.
I move that this item be continued.
Thank you.
Date
So we have
certain
a,
being the first meeting in October.
we have a motion to continue the item by Member Kennedy to October 4th meeting. And then we have a second of that by Vice President Wu. And we have Board Member Bell who would like to comment.
Just a clarification, so it's not going to be on the consent agenda on the 4th. We'll bring back the whole item then.
We'll be back the whole item.
Okay, perfect, great.
Thank
And we'll
you.
have the piece of data. Great.
Thank you very much. All righty, so all in favor for continuing the item until October 4th meeting? Say
Aye.
And opposed? And abstentions? And the ayes have it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Superintendent, again for your compromise on that. 11.0, Business and Financial Information Reports, it's just receiving information. 12.0, Future Board Meeting Dates and Locations, October 4th at 4:30 is closed session, 6:30 open session. October 18th, closed session starts at 4:30 and open session at 6:30. And with that, we're at adjournment, so.
Move for adjournment.
A motion to adjourn.
Okay, we have Student Board Member Yee who motions to adjourn the meeting, and it is seconded by Member Kennedy. And all in favor? Aye. And opposed and abstentions? The ayes have it. We are adjourned.